What's going on, YouTubers, gamers and hobbyists? Welcome to this D&D look at the official Advanced Dungeons and Dragons Player's Handbook by Gary Gygax. And there it is. This is the first of the series of the world famous AD&D role-playing aids. To complement the original version, we've added a new cover art and is ideal vehicle for imagination for intermediate for advanced players ages 10 and up. Now, when this is a copy of the original Player's Handbook that I had when I was playing D&D at school. And apologies, I haven't had a chance to try and tidy this up at all. I just wanted to get this video out there. Just wanted to make sure that you knew that I had this book, though, or a copy of this book. I don't know if I was the only one to have a copy of this book or not. I didn't have the Dungeon Master's Guide, but I do now, as you've seen. But I did have this one, and I'll show you why in a minute. I'll just read the back in a minute. Wealth of information for the AD&D game player. Creator of the AD&D game phenomenon and author of this book. So, must be why I loved it so much. This is it. It's the perfect player's game playing aid and the best companion to the referee's Dungeon Master's Guide. As a player, this handbook will help you determine your character's abilities such as strength, wisdom and charisma. Character classes including elves, halflings, dwarves, gnomes and others are explained in details. To make the adventure fast, fun and exciting, you'll learn the rules for progressing in character levels and the most advantageous mapping and combat procedures, and they're all in this easy to use book. So, Cambridge. Yes, I had this book, and I tell you a memory of this book I had, because I sat down one day and I drew this image onto a drawing pad and paper that I had. Don't know why, I just did. Sometimes I did that. I still do occasionally. When the mood takes me, I will sit down, I will look at a picture and I'll try and copy it as best as I can. As I recall, it came out quite well. So this is the Player's Handbook, and this is the one I used. Now, look at some of the character classes we've got in here. Cleric, Druid, Fighter, Paladin, Ranger, Magic User, Illusionist, Thief, Assassin, Monk. The multi-class character. We never bothered with that. The character with 2 classes or more. Hated all that. We thought, and I still think, it broke the game. Players these days, they want to be everything. They want to have all the best of everything, and you can't. You got to have it's got to be swings and roundabouts as far as I'm concerned, and you've got to be able to work together as a team. If you can all do everything, you don't really need each other as much. It's just a numbers game. So it's all laid out there anyway. All the introduction. See, I found this book quite easy to follow. All this sort of stuff, and all the tables in it and everything. Like I say, we have the character classes, we have the spells. I always wanted to play a magic user. Let's go back to the the magic user. I always wanted to be a magic user back then. I never really got to be one. I got to be one for about half an hour in one game. And that's another story in and of itself, but these pictures here look human, elf, half-orc. This is just it's craziness. But this book was the mainstay backbone for my D&D gaming back in the day. Spells usable by class. See, magic users, spell level. At level 1, magic user can use 1 first level spell. Level 2 can use 2. Level 3 you can use 2 first level and 1 second level. I think you have to be level 3 at least, I think, from memory, to be able to cast Fireball. Not sure about that. And we've got equipment tables with prices on and all the rest of it. Provisions, livestock, it's all there. Right, no, Fireball was a 3rd level spell. Did I? No, yes, I did say that. Yeah, Fireball, 3rd level. So you had Magic Missile, which everybody used that. Everybody had Magic Missile. Sleep. These are just great, you know. Magic in these games were amazing. Wish, I remember that. You had to be very careful what you wished for with our DM. Well, I suspect any DM. And descriptions, you know, it's not very colourful, these books. Well, not at all, but brilliant. I thought they were, I was able to understand them quite easily as a child, and you know, I might have a little more difficulty now with, you know, having an old man brain and all the rest of it, but yeah, this is the book I remember as a player. This, you know, this book was a must. Reference sheets, look at that, look. Armor class. Yeah, if you weren't wearing any armor, your armor class was 10. If you're wearing plate mail and a shield, it was 2. See, THACO to hit armor class 0. Yeah, that's how I used to play, roll and play it. Right, okay. So that is the Player's Handbook. The Advanced Dungeons and Dragons Player's Handbook. This image is ingrained upon my brain too, as much as the DMG is, really. Those are the 2 main books I had. Someone else had a monster manual, and I always had my eyes on an Unearthed Arcana, which I now have, but back then they were hard to come by, these books, you know. They weren't cheap. I mean, books these days, you're talking 50, 60 quid for a decent rule book. But back then, it was still, it's relative. It was obviously not as dear, but it was for the time. And they weren't easy to come by as a child. I had to save up for a long time to be able to get one. But that's what we did, you know, and we did it between us. But the Player's Handbook, lovely book, and great for playing 1st edition AD&D. Thanks for watching, guys. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe, hit the bell, all that good stuff. Hype it if you're able, and hopefully I'll see you on another video. Bye for now. Bye bye.